Wild times.
Oh, yeah.
Yeehaw. It's like a line dance, baby.
I like it.
Yeah.
Wild times.
I like
Here
it
we
a
go
lot.
in studio. How we doing, gents?
Doing good.
Yeah, great.
Patrick, your posture looks really good. You're sitting very upright in your seat.
I don't know who did it, but someone put out a little Instagram video that was making fun of how most male politicians sit with their legs crossed.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm going to just
Wait, like
You're gonna
this
man
cross,
spread?
like girl cross, or like this guy?
I don't know.
I'm going to sit like this.
Okay.
It's just, it is weird that we all sit with our legs crossed.
It's comfortable.
It's
This
the
is my
only way
favorite
that-
sitting position, right?
Who's
Like the
making fun of
figure
that, by the
four.
way? It's
I
comfortable.
don't know.
Why
It's
does
like
everybody have to
comedian.
make fun of everything?
Can you do both ways? Can you cross your other way?
Oh yeah, I do that all
I
the
have
time.
to switch.
Yeah.
Do you?
I switched
feels
several
good.
times.
Do you have a single leg sit?
I can, yeah. My hips are too tight to the other way.
his,
Stiff hips.
his hips
Yeah.
don't lie.
Stiff hips.
Okay, well that was a way to start a pod. I'm Forrest. I'm the host. There's Patrick and Peter here. If you don't know this by now, just fucking sign off.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he drops the F-bomb, too.
We got a Brosner animal mystery, top of the show. Haven't done one of these in a while.
Okay. I love that.
You're usually the mystery
Yeah.
guy. I don't know what it is. I haven't read it yet.
At some point, we've only been in the studio for 2 years. At some point, Kyle could maybe get some mystery music on the board where he could play a little mysterious.
Wow, it's kind of
I
mysterious.
kind of liked it. I don't think it was bad. I know where your head was at.
Yeah,
You're
you
like,
know
it's
what I
not
want.
The
mysterious.
more
Yeah.
you know.
Well, I want it to be a bed of music score.
Oh,
Well,
underneath.
this won't make sense to the listeners because right now they'll be hearing that score.
Perfect. Kyle wins.
Let's hear it.
Okay.
Set it up.
This mystery occurred on May 16th, 2025. We're in Ohio, right on the border of Pennsylvania. That's the Northeast, Peter.
Didn't know those two states touched.
There's a man, presumably, named Chipper.
Could be a woman.
Well, any thoughts?
Male.
Chipper is a serial
No,
killer.
what do you think it is?
Oh, so far?
Yeah.
All I know is they're on the border of Pennsylvania and Ohio, and there's a guy named Chipper around.
Yeah, I mean, that's enough information to solve it.
Based on all that information, I'm going to guess there's a squirrel that's done something.
Okay.
Chipper.
Okay. So, heavy rains had just flooded the area.
Kyle, you need to... Can I interrupt for 1 second?
Sure.
You need to, first of all, you suck. But secondly...
Wow.
Yeah. You need to get ahead of your game. Like, when Patrick says heavy rains flood the area, you need to get the... Yeah, sound effects for everything.
Will this
Yeah.
make sense to the viewers? You can add that too.
They already heard it.
All right.
Well, I'm kidding, Kyle. We love
Some
you.
of our recent lake beaches flooded.
What's a lake beach score?
It's a beach around a lake.
No, but what's the score for it?
Flooded.
No waves.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Move on.
Okay.
Jesus. If that was me, you guys would have derailed the whole podcast.
Hang on. After a
yelling at me.
few days, the water levels receded. Okay. Chipper's wife and his son recently went to one of the beaches where there's a playground.
Okay.
And they came across so
This.
if you can pull up the picture without him saying what he thinks it is, okay.
Yeah, it was a good job. All right, here we go. We got the
They came
picture.
across this.
Ew.
Ew.
Looks like a bloody carcass.
So, Peter, what are we seeing? Describe this mysterious animal that came after the flood.
It looks like a splayed out carcass of some sort with blood red stained on the top of its back. And a really strange, is that the skull of its face?
Sure
Give us
is.
a zoom in. It does look like a skull.
Now, Peter, about how big does
Pterosaur.
this thing look to be to you?
It's actually next to a sizable looking log. So I would say this thing's maybe 18 inches.
Oh, I was going to say much bigger.
24?
No, it's
I
it's
was going to say
big.
3 to 4 feet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Damn. Okay.
I could smell this picture.
Yeah.
it's
smells
gross.
pretty heinous.
Yeah.
Chipper wants to know what type of carcass became the subject of my son's nightmares for the next 6 months.
It's a good question.
The blood on the top is interesting because if it's what I think it is, how does it get the blood on the top of that hard exterior?
So you're saying it's a turtle. Thanks, Peter.
I didn't say that.
No,
you said
hard
that.
exterior.
Well, I mean,
It'd be a
lots of
very
things have a hard
large
exterior.
turtle for North America, right?
It's so hard to say. I mean, the skull looks very mammalian to me. The skin looks it's clearly decomposing.
Could it be a pygmy hippo?
I feel like it's more like it's.
Is that a turtle shell?
It could be, but if it was, it's not what you're thinking. And
Okay.
I'll circle back to that. My first instinct when I see that is not turtle, it's mammalian. And the skull, like you're looking at the skull, the head is facing towards us, obviously rotted really a lot. It looks like a woodchuck to me.
Interesting.
Like a big, fat
Bloated.
rodent. Yeah.
Very
Doesn't it
bloated.
kind of look like that guy?
I could see
Like
that.
a
yeah,
big
because
ol-
they have big fat bodies.
Right. It's like it's lost its hair. and
that hide though.
Let me throw another one out. Can you
Tough
pull it
hide.
back up, Kyle?
But the hair goes almost first in the decomposition process.
Is it
Mm.
possible it could be a beaver?
I thought about that too. I'm really struggling to understand the back end of
I know.
it.
Zoom in on the back end, please, Kyle.
The feet
Yeah,
are
so if you're just looking,
short.
it is very strange. If you're just listening, it's worth taking a look because it almost looks like a giant sea turtle, which wouldn't be in a lake, that someone cut the shell off of.
Ugh.
It does look like that,
But
but
does that tail look beavery?
it's very fat, but that fatness has probably also come from the bloat and the decomposition. So I
Okay.
think, Kyle, give me one of these real quick. Google image soft shell turtle skull.
Okay.
Mm.
Let's see what the
like
skull
where you're
looks
going
like.
here.
And that's going to tell us if that's going to line up.
No.
That's not it.
That's
That's,
not
not
it.
the skull.
That's not a soft shell.
So
turtle
the
skull.
only possible turtle it could be, go back to it. No. The only possible turtle it could be is a soft shell turtle,
right.
right? Because a regular turtle, it's got the shell. It just doesn't look like that.
Mm.
But I wasn't familiar with what a soft shell turtle skull looked like. So it's not a turtle, to be clear.
All right.
So we are.
Chipper thought that was Chipper's best guess.
He's close, and I mean I get it because the skin and the discoloration does look like a dead, decomposing soft shell turtle.
Yeah.
It's not. It's mammalian for sure. Why don't we do this? What state were we in? Pennsylvania, Ohio.
right on the border of Pennsylvania and Ohio.
Why don't we look up mammals of Ohio quickly, Kyle? Let's get a little.
I mean, this
checklist.
is a good one. I'd like to go to this site and take some samples.
Yeah.
Hit that muskrat image. Well,
What
groundhog.
would you
That's
br-
what I
What
said.
utensils would you bring to grab samples?
An X-Acto knife
Okay.
and
A beaker.
a vial.
So it's
a,
not the.
a Bunsen burner.
I don't think it's the muskrat.
I think it's much bigger than a muskrat.
Muskrats get pretty big, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get like 3 foot long. So I'm sticking with my original guess, which is the groundhog there, or the,
Not a groundhog. Groundhogs are much smaller.
what did I say?
Woodchuck.
Yeah.
Woodchuck, chuck, chuck.
What is a woodchuck?
How much wood could a woodchuck
I don't
chuck?
know.
I don't know either. I think it is a groundhog. I don't know.
This be a beaver?
Look at a beaver skull. The problem is the teeth. Oh, wait. Hold on. Go back to the image. Go back to the... I'm an idiot.
You know what it is?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's a raccoon.
Really?
Oh.
wow. Okay. Okay.
It's a dead, super bloated raccoon. I'm almost certain. Let's take a quick gander at a raccoon skull.
That makes sense.
The skull's a good way to figure it out.
Maybe not.
I don't know. It's
Top-
pretty close.
Go
Those
to that one that's
fangs.
bottom. Go one over, so it's more top down. Now go back to the image. Yeah,
That's pretty similar.
Pretty close.
that big nose gap. Yeah, yeah,
I think that's.
I
what
think
it
it's
is.
a big-
I will say the nose cavity is significantly different.
yeah. But I think that's rotted and broken out. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
Like it's
okay.
starting to chip away.
Yeah, because the
Right.
skull on the top left there looks a little bit.
Now let me
rotted
ask you
out,
this:
too.
Can you just go to armadillo skull?
Ooh, interesting.
Armadillo.
They have armadillos there.
They do a little further south. They might have them there.
Wow,
Oh,
armadillo
no.
skulls are super cool.
Yeah.
I've never seen that
Certainly
before.
not a dilla.
Look at that head on that.
That's a good
armadillo.
animal mystery.
It's very hard to identify. It's gross.
All right, so
This is
gun
one-
to head. What
What was our guy's name?
Chipper?
Chipper.
This is one that if Chipper had decided to make a fuss on his like local like what's the Facebook thing that it's like the neighborhood watch thing.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, like
next
his
door or
ring
whatever.
Next door.
Next door.
Like if he had made a fuss on Nextdoor, this would have been a national news story.
right.
Yeah,
Totally.
alien creature washes up in creek. You know, like
Unlike
this-
the Mirror UK.
Yeah.
Where they put all that clickbait
Yeah.
shit.
Okay.
This
So
is a good one.
gun to head for me. I'm going raccoon, and I'm going raccoon.
Can you just really quick say just Google image rotting raccoon corpse?
Yeah. It's gonna get like a safety violation.
Kyle's gonna get banned. Yeah.
Oh,
The problem is with like rotting and decomposing things, everything decomposes differently based on the environment.
Sure.
Well, yeah, because that's in water, so
And that's why it's so bloated and
Bloaty.
everything else. Yeah.
All right. Well,
Those are gross pictures.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
All right. Well, that was a good mystery. I'm going to go raccoon gun to head. The tail doesn't make sense to me. I don't think. Maybe it's a beaver. You're just not seeing the teeth. I don't know.
Gotta have the Brosters weigh in
What do
on
you
this
think,
one.
Kyle?
Beaver kind of makes sense to me.
Look up a beaver skull real quick.
Beaver.
No
It's
teeth.
probably like a porn website.
Beaverskull.com.
Beaverskull.org.
.org.
.xxx.
Yeah,
No,
not really.
see, it's the shape.
Totally not.
Shape's not right.
Skull wise, I think
This could be a
raccoon's
this
the
could be a
closest.
cryptid. This could be a cryptid.
Yeah,
Because
it-
it's, I mean, yeah, get the raccoon.
What's
It's
the-
not really.
What would
a
have like that big
raccoon.
nose cavity?
I think that's just broken away. Same with the eyes. Like, see how they're not circular anymore?
Yeah.
Like they're chipping away. They're,
Even the
they're
top part of
rotting.
the skull over there is missing.
And is there a ridge on the top of the skull? You know how some animals get that ridge? I don't know. Hard to say. Real gross.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. It's
it looks
really
very
gross.
uncomfortable.
It does.
Yeah.
Hey, Kyle, this didn't make news, but let me ask you this. What's in the news? What's in the news?
This should be.
It should
It
be.
is now.
We just made it news.
Sir, news from the underground.
I'm going to hijack real quick
Okay.
because I want to talk about this.
Okay.
Scientists.
Heard of them?
We don't have an article here. It's not on the show doc, but I think Peter, once he's done looking at Reddit, have you heard, Forrest, that scientists have announced that they have discovered a large sphere in the skies of Colombia?
No. What?
Yeah, scientists just do Columbia sphere, a metallic sphere.
Whoa. Wait, what? They found this? This is real?
Yep.
Peter, you got to be all over this.
Yeah. I mean, I can get into what I think afterwards, but you guys go ahead. What do you think it is?
So basically, this fell from the sky,
Mm-hmm.
and it's this sort of ornate sphere. But didn't they also see it flying though, or no?
Yeah. I mean, supposedly, yeah. So they have pictures of
There's a picture of it
sphere
flying right there.
and then there's claims that this is the same sphere, but you know how it is. It's like there's no way that they.
So
Can
what
actually prove
Peter's
that.
saying is there was a UFO that was a sphere, and then some guy came and made this and is hoaxing everybody. Is that your guess?
Listen, I mean, a lot of people think that this is a man-made like object. Obviously, it seems it doesn't really look alien. It looks like it was created.
Anyone could make this. This could be at Home Goods.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. And
Well,
a lot of times there is another example of this that was found many decades ago, I believe, that is more legit. So the verdict on this is that this is pretty hoaxy.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a decorative fruit ball from IKEA.
I mean, they were talking about the hieroglyphs on it and how they're like a fake kind of something
There it is
that
flying.
humans would fake.
There was video of it flying though.
Well,
I haven't heard about this. I
quote,
didn't know
unquote.
anything about it. Look, they're doing some real analysis on it.
No, these
Yeah.
are real scientists in Colombia, and some Mexican scientists went down there as well.
Oh,
Okay.
interesting.
What do you know about this, Pat?
That's it.
Okay.
That's the extent.
Well, see, the thing is that like I categorized it as hoaxy right off the bat, so I didn't really look into it that much more, just because of what I read about how it wasn't really linked with the flying video, and
Okay.
then the writing on it, it just seems very hoaxy. Like, I mean, are alien like we've never found any other alien artifacts that have like this hieroglyphic writing on it, and yet now you find a whole object that's just covered in what, like an ornate design.
Well, but there's some interesting things about it, right? So
Okay.
they've been studying the metal. It has these microspheres within it when you look at it through a microscope.
Okay.
The weight it's incredibly heavy for its size.
Mm-hmm.
And it has like multiple densities of metal. The scientists have documented that the weight is variable.
Sure.
So the weight of it changes. Which is very odd.
Well, yeah, that's obviously insane. Like it weighs.
But I mean, if you went to IKEA and bought a fruit ball,
Yeah.
would you also find that the weight changes and it's variable and it's just like made by some factory? Do you know what I mean? Like,
No.
is this no? I don't know.
If I weighed this table will weigh the same.
oh, you're saying the weight's variable as in it changes from when they weigh? I thought you meant like different areas weighed. I gotcha.
Oh no, like
Oh,
the
interesting.
weight of it has changed several times.
Oh,
Interesting.
That's bizarre. Sounds like human error.
But so I asked friend of the podcast Gotti, who does the NBC News.
Yeah.
You know, You've been on there, Forrest.
Yep.
Because he's very into all this stuff.
Uh-huh.
Not into it. He likes to report on it.
Yeah.
And he was like, the scientists that are doing the studying aren't like top experts. They're not seen as like incredibly credible
Yeah.
by like the American news media, but it's not to say they're not. So he was, when I talked to him when this first happened, was very undecided.
Well, they're probably Colombian scientists that typically study, I don't know, monkeys or
Right.
cells or something like that. And now all of a sudden they have this thing and they're like, well, shit, we don't have like alien guys down here. Yeah.
Well, it's a tough one, though.
It's
I
also
know.
a tough thing to get a degree in.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, dude, what I do appreciate, though, is the fact that this stuff, these kinds of things are coming out in more mainstream fashion. So,
Yes,
like, this
I do
isn't
too.
just being posted as, like, ridiculing the fact that this might be some kind of, come from space or something. At least they're attempting to do research on it. It's the same with those alien mummy bodies that they've been working on for.
Well, go ahead, Forrest.
What's the leading theory on the Nazca lines?
So you guys have all seen my cat. He's
Lovely.
the best cat in the world. He's a Persian. He's so cute. But the problem with him is he's so hairy and furry that he gets all knotted up. So what we have to do at least once a year, sometimes twice, is take him and get what's called a lion cut.
Yeah, those
I
are
love when he's
adorable.
cut like that. He looks hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, he probably doesn't like it very much. And so we just did this recently, and I felt really bad because I don't think he likes it. I think he hides and stuff. So we got him this new cat food.
As a treat.
The Smalls cat food that we've talked about before.
Yeah.
But it's a real treat for him, man. He loves it. I even took a video. I don't know if Kyle can show it in this, but yeah, he just runs up there. He devours it. And then he's so happy that he, again, wants to hang out.
It's awesome. The flavors are amazing. My cat loves it too.
Ground bird.
Ground bird. There's another flavor is called bird, which is what cats would eat in the wild. Correct? They're not eating kibble in the wild. So, Lemley's older. I've switched her over to Smalls. She freaks out. I think here's the problem. She likes it so much she would become obese if I just gave her unlimited access to it.
Yeah.
But 88% of cat owners who switch to Smalls report overall health improvements, which is a big deal. And they're so confident that you will love their product and your cat will. You can try it risk-free. They will refund you if your cat doesn't like the food.
For a limited time only, because you are a Wild Times listener, you can get 35% off Smalls plus an additional 50% off your first order by using my code WILD. That's an additional 50% off when you head to smalls.com and use promo code WILD. Again, that's promo code WILD for an additional 50% off your first order plus free shipping at smalls.com. Look, I live in a tiny house with my large family at this point, and there is nothing that drives me nuts more than the giant tubes of refrigerated dog food.
Sure.
Takes up like
the whole fridge.
The whole fridge. Luckily, we're using Sundays for Dogs. It is the best dog food. It's healthy. It's easy to store. It comes in a resealable bag so you can put it on the shelf. Most importantly, the dog loves it, and I feel good about feeding it to him, mostly because it contains 100% all-natural meat and superfoods and zero synthetic nutrients or artificial ingredients. My dog loves it. Hoover, his coat feels better when he's eating it. I swear to God. His coat feels denser and thicker, and it's great.
No,
he loves it.
The reason I didn't give Luca, my dog, this type of food, of fresh, really good natural food, is because I knew that the containers and the storage were going to be a nightmare.
Yeah.
And when Sundays reached out to us and sent us the stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm literally just I'm buying. This is what she's going to eat from now on.
It's great.
Get 40% off your first order of Sundays. Go to sundaysfordogs.com/wild or use code WILD at checkout.
Well, summer's here, and so I use the scale that tracks
Oh, yeah.
stuff, because I've been really, for the last few months, really hitting it hard.
Good.
Trying to just get healthier in general for longevity.
These are your stats?
Take a look at my stats. How am I doing?
Down 24 pounds,
That is correct.
minus 3.4 BMI, down 2.5% body fat. That's a huge.
In 3 months.
I didn't think you had 24 pounds to lose. You do look good.
I did, and
Yeah.
I feel much better.
That's great.
And I'll tell you what it is. I changed my diet by subscribing to Factor Meals.
That's great.
I do the Protein Plus. My wife is doing it too. She's doing the Calorie Smart, and just not just getting in shape for the summer, but just like general health. And it's just nice. We're busy. We have 2 kids.
Yep.
We have really delicious food that we look forward to eating. We do breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Great.
And the benefits have been great for our health, too.
So many options, too, dude. They got 45 weekly menu options that are made by real chefs. The food is good.
It's awesome. I use it mostly when my wife and kids go out of town because I don't like to cook, and this tastes better than the stuff my wife cooks. She's going to hear this. I'm going to get in trouble. But it's totally worth it. And if you guys want to try it out, get started at factormeals.com/wild50off and use code WILD50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code WILD50off at factormeals.com/wild50off for 50% off plus free shipping. I don't know. Do we think that's alien? Do we think that's man-made?
I think it's alien. I mean,
I don't even know what you're talking about, but I did. Let's wrap out this story about the boogosphere.
Okay, boogosphere.
First,
boogosphere.
Did
Such
you
a
see
great name.
the update on this today?
No, of course not.
Every scientist that was part of this, it was like 13 people
Oh wow.
today, all simultaneously disappeared this morning.
Shut up.
No, fuck
Shut
off.
up.
I made
Shut
that
up.
up. I made
Okay.
that up.
That was good though.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
you
good.
had me for a second there.
I made that
It
part
was
up.
too overblown. If you said like 6 died, and
All right. So what are the Nazca lines?
The Nazca lines are these lines in Peru that are drawn over tens of miles. Huge, huge drawings. You're not familiar with these?
No.
Really?
Look, it's a tarantula.
Tarantula. Yeah, so these are the Nazca lines. They're these
What?
things, yeah, in the middle of the Atacama Desert? Yeah.
Yeah, that's where they found the little tiny alien boy.
Yeah.
a couple of them now.
Right? This is the Atacama Desert. Anyway,
It-
middle
it
of
is,
Peru, and they have these giant, and I mean giant, like they're miles long drawings. People didn't even know that they were drawings until flying overhead. And then they're
Right.
like, oh, wait, look at the size of these.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I was like, metal orb, whatever. And then I was thinking, what is the leading theory on the Nazca
So
lines?
have you read up on this, Peh?
No, I mean, as much as I know about the Nazca lines is where they are finding, digging up these supposed alien mummy bodies. So, I mean, the theory is that in the circles I run in is that this was done by some sort of advanced civilization.
Kyle, ask
way
AI
back
what
when.
the leading theory on them
Yeah, I
is.
am curious. So for those who are only listening, we were just looking at photos from high up in the air where you can see these like mile-long, what look like cave paintings, but they're carved into the ground of a bunch of animals.
Yeah, exactly.
So ritual, religious significance, water and fertility ceremonies. But
most researchers believe they were created by the Nazca people between 500 BC and 500 AD.
Okay.
They serve for ceremonial.
How? I mean,
But they made a. So here's a question.
Yeah.
One of the drawings is of a baleen whale. So did these Nazca
Yeah,
people
what?
who lived in the
Yeah.
desert have access to ocean faring?
How close? Let's see. Go to the Nazca lines on Google Maps.
Because I'm going to call BS on that if they lived in the Atacama
Now
Desert
zoom out.
and never
Let's
went
see
to
how
the ocean.
far we are from the ocean. Pretty far.
Did the Nazca people have boats, Kyle? That needs to
Kyle,
be
how
found.
do you not know the answer to this? Just kidding.
I mean,
Come into the pod knowing.
Yeah.
There's also monkeys. I don't know. There are monkeys in the desert.
No, definitely not there. No evidence of ocean-going boats from the Nazca civilization.
So how would they have made a baleen whale 500 BC living in the desert hundreds of miles from the ocean and no evidence that they used boats?
also no area, they can't do this from above. So they're
That's
not,
my thing.
Yeah.
How do you know you're drawing a 4-mile-long monkey with a curly tail?
right. I mean, I think
How
that's
do you
one of
know
the
that?
mysterious parts of it.
I couldn't do that with a crayon on paper, let alone seriously, let alone miles. You know what I mean? Like that one
Well-
you can see on the mountain, but that you can't tell.
They're also meant to be seen only from above. And it's like if these were created 600 BC, who's meant to look at these things or
the
to know what they are?
The gods.
Sure. Okay.
That makes
yeah.
sense. That
well,
makes sense. It's
especially
for
if it's
the
a
gods.
religious thing. But
Look at the state of that road.
are the gods the ones that helped them figure out how to do this? Is the question, right?
And you're saying the gods are the alien?
Maybe. And how have they
Little green
lasted
ghouls?
for thousands of years, right? Like you'd think they just basically scratched off the top layer.
If the pyramids didn't exist in Egypt, this would be the only thing people talked about.
I
for
agree.
aliens. But the pyramids just overshadow this.
I'm really curious what % of the people listening knew about this.
Knew about the Nazca lines?
Yeah,
Probably
I
not
really
that
want to
many.
know.
Yeah.
If you're on YouTube or you can drop a comment, just write Nazca yes or Nazca no if you hadn't heard of this before, because that's one of the craziest parts of the story to me.
That you've never heard of
Should
it?
be the biggest news.
Oh, sure.
Nazca No
For the
is
next
a good
5 years.
Peruvian
Or-
flute band name, by the way.
At least in your history books when you're in high school or something, or in elementary school, you'd think that they would teach you about this, but
But it's okay. So the prevailing theory is that these desert-dwelling people made. What's the biggest one, Kyle? Because I want to make sure we're not talking shit when we say that they're miles.
I think it's up to
long.
1,500 feet. I don't think it's well, each individual object as far as, but they.
Oh,
they
yeah, they're way smaller than I was saying.
I mean, still.
Yeah, but still,
it's a
that's
quarter of a mile.
1,200 feet, a quarter of a mile. Yeah.
over the span of miles, though. So I
Yeah.
mean, you know,
So how do you? Okay, I can accept that they could. Maybe someone's on a high perch and is yelling instructions.
Wait, some of the straight lines run up to 30 miles.
oh, so they
That's
have
a straight line.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
then there are
it's
the
easy to make a
biomorphs,
straight
which are
line.
the animals we're looking at that are 50 to 1,200 feet in length.
yeah. So I mean, a straight line you could do over 30 miles, right?
But
Could you draw a straight line on a piece of paper? Seriously, can
No.
you? No.
Especially not in 600
That's what I'm
BC.
saying. So I guess
but
I don't
you
know.
could just use the sun to just keep walking for an entire day.
Yeah, shadow. Yeah. Yeah.
But to me, let's forget the size. What is that one
Is
supposed
that
to
one
be?
a fucking dinosaur?
Maybe a
So,
bird.
like a dodo bird of some
Oh.
Yeah,
sort.
but what kind of bird?
I think it's supposed to be a condor.
I
think
still have
that's
the
also a
mystery
bird.
of it, dude.
It's
It's just
great.
like,
But
why
let me
is
ask
it
you
there?
this. Okay, so why to see from the sky? It's to the gods.
Mm-hmm.
What's the
Mhm.
reason? Well, they needed rain, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
1,200 feet long. I believe that someone could be at elevation and be giving directions and help them.
Standing on a
Draw it.
mountaintop or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, sure.
But the baleen whale,
Pretty bizarre.
if they had no knowledge of the ocean, that to me is that's too big of a hole to poke in it to keep the theory, in my opinion.
So what is your theory then? What do you think?
That the current theory is wrong.
I know, but so what would you hypothesize?
Or I guess that someone else came in later from the coast and then added the whale to these cool drawings.
Yeah, I think that's the question. Were there like nomadic people that brought
I'm sure
stories
there
of
were.
whales?
But you don't think that there was potentially any being that was in a flying craft of some sort that either helped create these?
All right,
or-
so let's say it was a higher intelligence, from another planet, alien. What would be the point of essentially making stick figures of animals in the area?
well, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily theorize that it was the aliens, but potentially like a advanced civilization that's now, or some
Oh,
advanced
sure.
technology that got wiped out.
I
Yeah.
want to go see them. That's all I know.
Let's go.
Yeah, that'd be
Dude,
cool.
It's really fun when you get into this stuff. Like, I don't know enough, and we shouldn't do a deep dive on it by any means, but like
Because we're
all,
not smart enough.
all of the stuff with the pyramids and all of the mysteries surrounding the creation of the Great Pyramids in Egypt, and
Oh my
some of-
God.
some of that stuff's just crazy.
The fact that there's now like water sources a mile underneath them, and like these spires reaching down there that they can see on LiDAR, and it's
Yeah.
it's nuts.
how about just the fact that when the Roswell incident happened back in 1947, the government, or I mean, a guy who was high up in the government, basically the PR guy for the military at that time, the Air Force, I can't remember which one, came out and said that a flying saucer crashed, and then literally, like, that was the story that came out,
right.
and then retracted it and came out later and said no, it was a weather balloon. And then years later, the official story that came out from the Army, military, whatever, Air Force, was that it was a secret like spy balloon project that we were working on, having to do with like to spy on Russia. So dude, these things get covered up, and it's like, regardless of what we hypothesize they are, you can only do just that, because they're not going to give us what they know and
It's
what
just
they've
so easy
researched.
to discredit things too.
Yeah,
It's
I
so
agree.
easy to blame it on something else. Like, nah, that's not it.
Oh, and now with AI coming out, bro, have you seen these new videos that are coming out? I mean,
yeah, VO3.
It's
Google's
insane.
new AI that has audio and everything else.
I just,
Kyle, pull up some of those ones I sent you on Instagram.
dude. So there's a video I just watched where it was
Do the influencer one. Do you know the one I'm talking about? The one I sent you, the fake influencer talking about Coachella or something.
So it was
Yeah, that one.
it was showing like watching TV and going through just like random channels on TV. So it went through like Discovery Channel to a news channel to like this and that, and it was all just these what is it, VO3?
Well, look at this. This for some reason it's coming in low resolution. It's not.
VO3, is that what it's called?
VO3. It's a new Google AI program. This is I don't know if Kyle can play it with audio and not in tiny.
Yeah, but it's perfect. Essentially,
It's perfect.
Yeah,
and,
you
and
wouldn't
the
know.
audio is perfect. And that's the thing is AI until very, very recently.
I gotta give them that. This is wild. It's
We don't want to
over.
drive
We are
gas cars
cooked on that
anymore.
thread. You get
Yeah,
me?
no more gas cars.
Yeah, there's even talking
There's-
over one another,
with
like.
background sounds
Yeah.
and like the whole thing is done now. Like everything.
So what? We just are like. I mean, what we have to tune out because we can't believe video for anything anymore.
That's what I was saying. Like all the alien stuff, all the extinct animal stuff. I know when we dug into the Neil Waters recent sighting on that extra bonus pod a week or two ago, that, I was like, this could just be AI.
Can't believe it.
You just tell VO3, make an AI image of a thermal scope looking at a thylacine walking through the night.
and it does it
And
perfectly.
it'll do it perfectly.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, it's fucked for like, I don't know. Like, where does the line begin to get drawn now? Because it's like, look at this. Like, give us audio too, Kyle.
I mean, man, the acceleration is crazy. You look far, step on the pedal,
It's
and you are
100%
there.
generated.
The
I feel
guy's too
safe with
handsome.
him in an SUV, and it seems to be
It's
like the
pretty
right type
perfect.
of car
No, it
for
is.
him.
Even the guy.
If
in
that
the
was just
range-
cut into a car show commercial, you would never know
You'd never
that
know.
was fake.
You wouldn't know.
Are you detecting anything fake in there?
Now I'm looking for it.
Yeah,
Well, you were saying though. So where does that leave us?
So VO3 is an AI video generator.
correct.
Yeah. Just
From Google. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It
where
just
does that
launched,
leave
like,
us?
Well, that's what I'm saying is like all these things, like what I have made a career out of doing, which is finding things that are hard to find.
Yeah.
No matter what I find
I was
moving
gonna say,
forward, they're
yep.
going to be like, that's AI.
Yes.
Fake.
Yes.
He faked it.
So
Yes.
do you think like
if you legit find a fucking family of thylacine frolicking through a grassland,
I'll have
Yeah.
to shoot one.
you
Yeah,
will
that'll be the
absolutely
only way.
have to kill it. Yeah.
I will
Physical.
physically have to deliver
run
the
it
animal.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude.
because if I'm like, here's my trail cam footage, and rightfully so, everybody be like, that's AI.
Yeah.
You can make that an AI now.
So there has to be what you think, some kind of regulation on identifying when something's AI versus not.
Well, I got
But
a
even
letter,
that'll be
and I don't know if
corrupted.
Patrick got the same notification, but I do the majority of my business with Discovery Channel still.
Yeah.
Little Maggi for you?
Oh, dude.
This is my first caffeine in 10 days.
That's not true.
It is.
Really?
I cold turkeyed it, but I'll make exceptions.
Yeah.
I'm not a
yeah.
psychopath.
You're not a psycho. Yeah.
But yeah, definitely.
and Peter, you're
I'm
doing
doing the
crushing
max,
it.
baby.
that's the extra caffeine.
So tired today. Yes.
I want one. I'm going to join you on the max train.
Don't join me.
I want to hear this. I want to hear this story that you were telling. Discovery is telling you no AI.
No,
or
it's
what?
not that. They just sent out like a employee-wide mandate or whatever you want to call it that says if you use AI, you have to disclose it to us and we'll decide whether or not it's acceptable.
Good.
Like that came in the mail. That came in a blanket email like 2-3 weeks ago.
I mean, it's good.
Yeah.
It's
I'll tell you where. Sorry,
No, I was just
Peter.
going to say, so you like it is left up to, so that's not so that they can necessarily disclose that to the public. So there's still a layer of like some Discovery exec who says like, yeah, we're going to run with this and just like let the public believe this is real or not.
Here's what I think, right? So there's two different ways to use it. If Forrest were to use AI to make it look like there were more sharks that he was swimming with, they would say, you can't do that.
Agreed. That's
if,
bad.
If he shot a sit-down interview to do the narration in his interview in front of a green screen,
Yeah.
and then just made an AI image that was blurry in the background of a seaport in the Caribbean,
Sure.
they would probably be like, that's fine.
Okay.
Agreed.
Right.
I don't know anything about what Discovery thinks.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, they probably want to see how it's used so that they can be like, we're fine with that, or like, no, this is fundamental to the story. You can't use computer
But
generation.
I think the bigger point was they can no longer tell. So if I did decide, or any of their other producers decided to add a bunch of sharks into a blank blue backdrop on a
Sure.
scuba dive and go, oh my God, look at the sharks.
Yeah.
If you don't disclose it to them, they're not going to be able to catch it and they're going to be publicizing that.
And I do happen to know there was a Shark Week last year that was narrated by an AI voice.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Could you
Wow.
tell it was AI?
I didn't, of course, didn't watch it, but
Yeah.
the person who made it told me.
wild.
Yeah.
I mean,
So what is
whatever.
that? Is this
I don't
why?
like it.
But this is
bothers
No,
me
it's
a
terrible.
lot. Bothers
I mean,
me a
look,
lot.
here's your question was, where's the line?
Yeah.
So I would like to think that people aren't going to want a movie. You're not going to go want to watch an AI movie, an AI generated movie. But we sort of accepted that like VFX were a thing.
Yeah, right.
And then VFX kind of became the only thing with mainstream releases with Marvel movies, things like that. You know, most of it's CGI.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. So there was not a revolt against CGI.
Right.
Some movies kind of in like LA circles get credit of like Mad Max, you know, the new Mad Max was like all shot practically.
Yeah.
But the general cinema going audience doesn't really care.
They don't care at all.
So will there be a full-on revolt against AI generated content? I don't think there will, as much as I want there to be. I think people will seek out non-AI content. As far as the government getting involved and making people disclose what's AI and what's not, they'll be 10 years late to the game.
So
It'll be too late by the time they intervene.
There is definitely a stigma that I didn't even realize until recently. I'll give you an example. On my YouTube channel, we're doing these like edutainment videos, right? Where like I'll sit down at my office desk, Kyle can pull up an example, and I'll tell stories of like Pancham, the famous, or not Pancham, what was his name? The famous tiger, the tiger of the man-eater of
Rudraprayag or whatever?
Yeah. So like one of those stories, right? It doesn't really matter what the story is.
Man-eating tiger.
Yeah. A man-eating tiger. There's no historical footage or images of that because it was just a tiger that was creeping into tents and killing people, right?
Sure.
So we will use AI to generate images, and you'll put in the prompt, you'll put something like tiger sneaks into tent, tiger grabs man by leg, tiger runs through the jungle, and you use those AI generated images. And there is undeniably an outcry from my audience in the comments going, how are you using AI? Why are you using AI? Use a local artist. What those people don't seem to understand is if I were to commission the 200 original drawings that are in that, it would cost me like $10,000+ to put out a YouTube video and probably take 6 months.
But I'm glad that your audience is pissed about it.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad that people have awareness for it.
Yes.
I don't think that's going to change the fact that it's going to become a tool that everybody uses for things like that.
Well, I think the real question is not that, because that's obvious. The question is, will it become the only tool and the only content? Because, here's what I could do, right? If this VO thing's that good and I'm some 19-year-old kid, right, who has hunched shoulders and his ears are falling off, because he's got tech neck.
He's the guy. He's the guy.
Right, because he hasn't left his desk in
the gamer guy.
7 months.
The gamer guy, yeah.
He's got a toilet in his chair, right? I go, oh, Forrest has a YouTube channel with over 1 million followers. He's probably making some money off the ads. He's doing cool stuff. He's out there in the world traveling.
Yep.
I'm just going to make a better looking, more intelligent Forrest that's doing this, but on one of Saturn's moons.
Right.
And the animals are going to be crazier.
Legitimately, I would watch that.
Yeah, me too.
And now I get to see someone who's more handsome and funnier than you.
Right. But it has the likeness or whatever.
Well, one thing AI does not have down is comedy or writing.
It does not have comedy.
Yeah.
It does not get timing.
Not
But
yet.
I want to watch the guy who's exploring Pandora.
Right.
And it feels just as real. And so that's where it's really fucked.
Yeah.
Is like, what will be the appetite for content that is not generated by computers?
Totally.
Because then as soon as that is figured out, in 5 years, there will just be server farms that are just generating content.
Of
no
course.
doubt. And automated and starting YouTube channels.
There are already I've seen the ads for it on Instagram. Like, learn how to create your own AI generated,
faceless YouTube channels.
not just a YouTube, but like you can make social media influencers.
Oh yeah,
I've
there's
seen
a
that.
ton of them.
Like, here is an AI generated influencer that sells products, that does all the things, and you've just got to make them fake hot enough and fake clickable enough that they build a following.
God,
Right.
what is the fucking point? It takes the soul out of it's like, so what is the point? Just selling the end product?
But
Dude,
I think that's generally what has happened anyway.
I think
The
Agreed.
soul has been sucked out.
Agreed.
And I go, what is the point? Like,
Agreed.
what is the point of scrolling TikTok and watching people go
Right.
well, again,
and
I
do
mean,
a dance and doing that for an hour and a half, you could have just watched a cool movie.
No, I mean, I you're right, and I do think that again, back to the point that it's just a tool. It's like how much deception is going to be going on using the tool, like within everything.
As much as possible.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So the thing is are people just going to pull away from this because they're like, oh, everything's bullshit?
Yeah.
Not for entertainment value. I'm not talking about that, but like, what if you're trying to actually like understand how the world works or something that's actually going on now, and you're looking at like faked war zone footage. I mean, like, talk about wag the dog. Like, you can create a whole entire fake war now and like get people riled up and spread misinformation. Like, it's pretty what do we do about that?
I mean, the fact that the social media companies during COVID came in and started banning people for spreading misinformation that were actually right, and then that no one has stepped up and been like, okay, we've got to create a rule around this.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Something
it's like too late already.
Nah, but no, it's not. I mean, something
No?
as simple as like, if you post whatever you post on YouTube, you need to have a disclaimer at the beginning that says what percentage of this was generated by AI.
Mhm.
Something that simple might satisfy it.
There is
So
something.
if you click on, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, there is something similar to that. It doesn't necessarily say it's essentially a button. It says part of this video is generated by AI.
Oh,
So
where? On YouTube?
There are disclaimers that are coming out.
I
like
see that on like Getty Images and things like that. But
Mhm.
even if you go to Getty Images now, when you do a basic search, like I need a street lamp at night,
Yeah.
95% are AI. It says it on there.
Oh, interesting.
But like 95% are AI. It's fucking crazy.
I remember when this all started and you and I were talking, and it was very complex at that time. And you showed me something for a deck you were working on where you told the AI like what style to put it in, what color palette, and it was like a guy jumping off a bridge or getting thrown off a bridge.
Yeah,
Do you remember that?
Yeah, he was just throwing the body off the bridge.
Throwing a body off a bridge. Yeah, and it looked great.
Yeah.
And this is like probably 4 years ago now.
It was a while ago. Yeah. I mean, for deck design, it's making a PowerPoint or a PDF, cool PDF.
Right.
I mean, it's fucking crazy because you can, if you're trying to tell a story.
Yeah. Which is everything, by the way. Like, you're just everybody's just telling stories, whether you're pitching something or trying to educate people or trying to.
Do you think that the original cavemen were sitting around a fire? They were telling stories of their mammoth hunt, grunting at each other, and then one guy starts drawing it like in the sand, and they're like, "That's it. Fucking civilization's fucked. Like, there's no reason to tell stories. Look at this guy. He's drawing it in the sand with a stick.
Yes.
That's the end of humanity right there.
He
Legit.
used a stick.
Yeah. That's like
it
us
is.
right now talking about AI.
Oh, dude,
Yeah,
imagine
exactly.
now in 50 years, too. Like, this is going to be just, they're going to be like, these people are not. Like,
I mean, the crazy thing is, like, you and I are, all three of us are not that any of us will ever retire from trying to make content,
No,
but we're all probably 20 years from being just aged out.
totally.
Right.
Yep. We're
And-
getting less cool every day.
Right. And we'll be essentially retired.
Yeah.
And then we'll have hobbies and things we do.
Yep.
But
Mostly jerking
like-
off on the big TV.
Oh, sounds
fuck
great.
yeah,
Do that
baby.
tonight.
Oh, yeah.
But like most of our listeners are Kyle's age. They're 20.
yeah.
And, it's like if you're not on the forefront of all this shit, I don't know what the future holds for people.
Yeah, you
Agreed.
got to be accepting of it. I mean, this is what the future is. There is no stopping it. And you have the choice to be scared of things or to embrace them all throughout your life. As we get older, we're scared of things more because we're like, oh, it's gonna affect my fucking
Well,
money.
and the
It's gonna
fucked up
affect
thing
my-
is, man, the government won't do anything until unemployment hits like 30%.
Exactly. It has to be reactive, not proactive.
And
Yeah,
we
of
won't
course.
know when unemployment has truly hit 30% until 10 years after it's really hit 30%.
Yeah, and it'll be at like 80% at that point.
Yeah, until it's complete chaos. Forrest, bring us back to the news.
Hey,
Some
Kyle,
animal stuff.
give me that jingle jangle we
One-
tried earlier.
One more time.
What's in the news?
Sir, news from the underground.
All right. Well, speaking of alien-like abductions,
Sure. We weren't, but yeah, go ahead.
sorry, weren't we?
It's sort
Just
of.
keep
No,
going.
we were.
It's okay. You had a brain fart.
We were.
talking
Shut
about
up.
AI.
Listen.
It's fine.
Listen,
What's in the news?
young male capuchins have developed a strange trend.
What do you think it is?
Whacking. Well, they've
yeah.
always been doing that.
That's not strange.
Yeah.
They're
I don't even
going-
know what a capuchin is.
They're
so.
going to the tiki bar at the resort and publicly whacking.
They do that. What they
Guess
are
that's not
doing
new.
is acquiring baby howler monkeys, and it doesn't end well for the babies.
Oh,
So capuchins are a smaller monkey. They live in Central America, Costa Rica, Panama, whatever. And howler monkeys are a larger monkey. And look what they're doing. They're going
Oh, there's
over
a video.
They're kidnapping them.
There's
Yeah.
a video of a capuchin carrying a tiny baby howler monkey.
interspecies abduction.
Abduction.
Yeah. So
Does that happen?
well, yeah, it does. Yeah, usually it's like parasitic or something like that. It's negative.
Yeah.
But what's so unique about this story is they're on this island and these capuchins are just doing it, and there's no reason why. They're just going in.
No benefit.
And to be clear, like it's oftentimes a species will come in, kill the other species, take its baby, eat it, whatever. They're just rolling in, hanging out with the howlers, grabbing the babies and latching the babies on. And because a baby monkey's just a little primate, just grabs on. They're then just going for a ride out with the capuchin, and that's it. The howler
And
loses its baby.
These are male capuchins that are doing this.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
it's not
weird.
even like a mom being like, I want a.
No, like an adoption thing. No. And
That's amazing. So where is this?
Panama, Costa Rica. Where is it, Cal?
Panama, yeah.
Panama.
What's the name of the island? It's on a little island there. Fascinating. So, okay, so scientists have been watching these capuchins on trail cams. And so the capuchins, these male capuchins that probably aren't of like breeding age yet. I don't know. I'm
I don't
speculating.
know. Yeah.
Jicaron Island.
Jicaron.
Jicaron. So the male capuchin, that says that it started with one of them that would basically take off. They would lose it because they don't have coverage of the trail cameras. And then it would come back and it's got a baby howler monkey riding on its back. And it said now 3 of his buddies are doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Wild.
this is just like kind of a learned behavior from one another.
Well, and people get upset when I say this, but it's sort of like evolution in action. Like usually evolution is defined as happening over a long period of time, millions of years of time. But this is something where these monkeys are coming in, they're doing it. They could now, maybe it fails 99 out of 100 times, but maybe one time that howler survives somehow. It grabs onto a female capuchin, it feeds, it grows up. Now the capuchins have a sentinel. They have a larger guardian. They have somebody that's, something changes. They have somebody who finds food or evades predators for them or something like that. It's like the first step in Planet of the Apes. Do you know what I mean? It's like this sort of starting of evolution in action. It's kind of cool. But the story says that so far it hasn't ended well. I think 4 of the babies, maybe of 4 of the cases they've documented, have all died.
Yes.
So,
But so you think of a howler monkey, it's much bigger than a
Yep.
capuchin.
Yep.
But these scientists that are kind of watching this behavior said, we've seen the capuchins and howlers having a tussle in the trees.
right.
And it looks like the howler monkey's moving in slow motion.
Right,
Because
it
the
makes
capuchin
sense.
is so much faster.
And agile and smaller.
Yeah.
And it makes sense.
So they suspect they're just going up there fucking around. Maybe there's a distraction. And then boom, they grab the baby and they're off.
Now, if the baby grows up, it's going to be much bigger than the capuchin, yeah?
right. That's what I was saying. It
But they'll all
could
be
be
friends.
useful.
Maybe.
So what are they hurting them, or
No,
are the babies just not surviving because they don't have a mom taking care of it?
It's the second one. There's some really interesting quotes from some of the scientists that are reading this, but it's basically like they're just playing with them.
Right.
It's like they're getting a doll because they're bored.
Sure. Right.
And they just want something to do. They're like on this island, there's no predators for them there. They're bored and they're like, let's just
That's
go
what he
steal a
said.
baby.
He said sometimes he said it's like a kid with lightning bugs. The kid likes the lightning bugs,
in the jar.
but the bugs aren't going to survive.
Right.
Right,
It's-
right,
yeah,
right.
I think that's what it is. It's really interesting. And it shows intelligence too. Like it shows dude, it's the same thing as if the 4 of us were stuck on an island.
Right.
Like we'd be like, okay, we're bored. Like, let's go cause some havoc. Like there's nothing else to do.
That's what he said. He said they have nothing to do. They have no predators, so they have just ample time to just do. He calls it destructive social innovation.
What would you do if you were stuck on an island?
Shenanigans
for your buds?
or destructive social innovation.
Well, no, it's okay. Put it this way: when we were kids, right? I had a Nintendo. I couldn't play it all day. I wasn't allowed to.
Of course.
My parents would just say, "Go outside."
Get out of here.
So now I'm outside with a group of 5 other bored kids, and we've got 13 hours to kill during the summer. So you do some stuff, you play some games, whatever. 7 hours in, you go, well, what if we all take off our shirts and stand against that wall and take turns throwing racquetballs at each other's back? and trying to give each other welts.
Yeah.
And so you just watch and you go, well, what's that behavior about? It's like they were bored.
Yeah, social destructive behavior, innovative social destructive behavior. Dude, I did that 2 years ago. I went to my buddy Matt Struven's bachelor party, and the house we rented had a tennis court with one of those tennis ball launcher machines.
No, you didn't.
Oh yeah, basically the same thing. We just took turns shooting each other,
Like running around and you're aiming it. and
exactly, literally, and you'd like take a shot, run back and forth,
God,
and
that
the
sounds
other
fun.
guys are cheering, trying to hit you with a tennis ball.
like
American
American-
Gladiator style. Dude. Oh yeah, dude. Have you guys seen the American Gladiators documentary series on Netflix?
Oh no, I wanted to watch it.
It's so good, dude. They're all just roided out, insane.
That's like
fucking
the
each other.
original. That's what. Remember, like UFC's Growing Pains when they started.
Yeah.
That's what I think early days American Gladiator was like. Just get like some tiny little 140-pound judo guy and put him against a sumo wrestler. Let's see what happens.
It was great.
A lot
Yeah.
more cocaine though involved.
I loved Nitro.
Nitro.
Ice.
Yeah.
Who was the guy
Ice.
that was the all red? Was that Nitro? Big long blonde hair.
The long blonde.
Thunder.
Yeah, was that
Probably
Thunder?
Thunder.
I think one was named Titan.
That guy. That's who I'm thinking of right there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
man,
gotta
the
watch this.
All-American.
All right, speaking of American Gladiators, it's just inspired a new quick game.
Oh, I thought you wanted to fight.
No, I do. I do. Kyle, play the jingle for my new game. This is going to be a good one. People are going to love this. Top one.
Wait, did you do that or did he?
It was me. It was
That
all me.
So good.
Well, I said
Beatbox.
Top one. Okay, that was just the whole thing was real.
Give me credit for top one.
Nice.
All right, so American Gladiators, right? Because I remember as a kid thinking like how much fun it would be just to get a few friends together and go run around on the American Gladiators course.
Dream.
I mean, still
Utter
now
dream.
that would be.
I'd do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you've won a contest, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the prize is they're going to throw you a party that could be anything. It could like this.
Okay.
Like you, and I'll go first to give you guys an idea of what I'm talking about. Like something where you got 10 of your bro friends,
Yeah.
maybe a few of your female friends as well, or any they friends you have,
Mhm.
and like 10 friends, and you're just gonna go get access to something crazy to just fucking play adult games.
Okay.
Okay, I'll go
The
first
crossbow.
because I have one that I've always thought would be really, really fun.
Okay.
That if like money was no object, I'd like to do.
Tell us.
All right. I want to go into a closed down for the night, not abandoned. I don't want it to be abandoned. I want it to be an active shopping mall.
Okay.
Full access. All the stores are open with like 10 people at night. Night vision goggle. Play paintball.
I knew you were going to say paintball. I wanted to say paintball.
And obviously there's like 4 or 5 little bar carts set up throughout in each wing of the mall.
That's great.
That's where I'd
That's
be,
so much fun.
Stoking
And can you
out.
imagine, like, I'd be hiding in, like, the women's long dress thing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Underneath the circular cart.
Totally.
Yeah.
And it's just like, who cares? Like, all the dresses get trashed. You pop out, you shoot, you run away
Snipe
laughing.
somebody.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
You
That's
just go into Forever 21 and just blast all the clothes with.
Oh, hot topic? Forget about it. I'd be
yeah.
shooting dildos off the ceiling.
Yeah.
Fucking trashing bongs. Yeah, what a treat.
Wow.
Dude, you
okay.
go into Best Buy and just like hide inside one of the refrigerators.
Oh, just pop out.
Yeah.
In
washing
a washing machine.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
I
you
love
turn
that.
it on so that you're going in circles.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
they
that.
wouldn't find
Oh, I
you.
love that.
If it was turned on.
All right, Petter, you go.
Oh, wow. Okay. So just off the top of my head, I've mentioned before, like what one of my dream rooms in my house would be. So this would just be a gymnasium, like picture your high school gymnasium, except the whole room is made of trampoline, including the walls, the ceiling and everything.
Oh, yeah.
That's really high though. And then you just, you're playing dodgeball from high school.
Yeah.
Great.
I was always great at it.
Great.
Like with the not the huge full-size soccer ball ones, like the perfect
The little
ones
rubber
to
one.
grip.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that
Oh,
you can really huck, like, because you get that. Oh.
Also, those if you get hit in the face with those, that stings pretty bad.
I was thinking just softballs. Actual
Dude, imagine
softballs.
you're coming down from a high jump and just catch one in the side of the face.
Oh, that's
Knocks
so-
you over.
That's so good.
I love
Both of
it.
those.
Yeah.
I like the idea of going somewhere like the Bahamas or the Maldives or somewhere with a ton of little scattered islands,
Mhm.
and then you're playing like Lord of the Flies War. Like you have to
Ooh.
go and take over each other's islands.
Ooh.
Okay.
And it's so
what
it's
are
like,
the rules though? How do you do
right?
that?
So I'll explain it. So it's like capture the flag. So there's a flag on each island. and it's like Patrick and I are on an island, Peter and Kyle are on an island, and there's a defender, and then there's someone who goes out to colonize and like get the islands. And so you can turn people, you can buy them into being part of your island if they don't kill you first. And when I say kill you, like we've got like padded bats or something. I don't know. And,
Well, yeah. You have the boat ride out to the islands to set up the rules.
yeah, and you're all sort of trying to manipulate each other, but then whoever wins gets has the most flagged islands.
And then you're the Lord, and then everyone has to live there for a year and worship you.
That's an idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just, this idea of like you and all your buddies are on this like island combat thing where they're all a swim across, you know, like each island's like, I don't know, 300 feet away from the other one.
Yeah,
oh my
yeah.
God. It sounds like so much
I'd like
fun.
to make it 50 if I'm playing.
50 feet?
50,
Yeah.
50
Yeah.
It's an
feet.
easier swim. Just
Yeah, let's swim.
backstroke it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have
Kyle,
like
what's
hidden
yours?
weapons around.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got
Like
a,
as if you're in a video game.
Exactly.
like a
yeah.
crossbow, but like not lethal, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I pitched a show that I always thought would be really cool. And it was I don't remember the name of it, but this was back in the early days when I didn't understand how anything worked. But it was two guys. It was one guy who was a military sniper hunter guy, like top end gunman, and he had a paintball gun. And then there was like 10 survivalist experts, like a policeman, an actual survivalist, an animal tracker,
Navajo
blah, blah, blah.
tracker.
Exactly.
Yeah,
all
yeah,
these
yeah.
things.
Yeah.
And he had to go hunt down those people before they killed him. But he left with a paintball gun, and they had various like paintball weaponry hidden throughout the playing course.
Okay.
So it's sort of the same thing, except
Sounds fucking great.
isn't that a great show? And
Yeah.
like who's tracking who's ambushing who?
yeah.
You know, are they aligning with him? Is he aligning with somebody else?
Who'd you pitch it to?
Everybody.
I just wanna-
Everybody.
what, how does that not work? Like, where they guys would.
I think because they probably heard it a lot.
Yeah, it's
And
a mob.
I maybe even went into production. There was a problem. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Kyle,
it
what
would
do
be
you got?
fun.
I've seen this online where you can rent out a minor league baseball stadium.
That was my second choice.
Yeah, and it's like an Airbnb. You stay there at the stadium.
Kyle loves baseball.
I do. Yeah,
Yeah.
I went to 2 baseball
what do you-
games in Japan.
That's
Did you
wild.
really?
2.
Did you see the Nippon
Back-
Ham Fighters?
No, I saw the Tokyo Giants back-to-back nights.
So you just
That's
playing
awesome.
baseball there? You're just putting together teams to play baseball there?
Yeah, you just get like 20 of your friends and you can play against each other, and then you just go back and
That would be
hang out.
so
With each
Kyle was
other?
like a real competitive baseball player in high school. Did you know that?
No, I had no idea.
I did not know that.
Also, he went out with Mitch, my buddy Mike Nolte, all these guys who do nothing but talk about how good they are at golf. Where were we?
Australia.
In Australia. We had an off day. Literally, Mitch spends no less than 1 hour a day talking about how good he is at golf.
Okay.
I swear to God. Am I lying?
Yeah.
And then Mike, who is like, he played super competitive golf. JQ is always golfing with Mitch. And all they do is talk shit. I didn't even know Kyle had ever touched a golf club in his life, and he smoked all 3 of them.
No shit.
They came back, they're like, yeah, Kyle won by like a landslide. And he's like, yeah.
That's nice. So, for anyone who was listening, 2 minutes and 10 seconds ago, if you want to rewind, go back now 2 minutes and 14 seconds. If there was a loud cracking sound in the audio, it's because Kyle decided to crack his neck
Oh,
directly
I hate it, dude.
into his mic.
He does it in his knuckles too. It like I want to kill him.
I mean,
Pretty
gonna-
harsh.
you're gonna have
Apparently, a
bent-
really good athlete.
You're
so
gonna
I
have a
kinda-
bent neck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do already.
Really?
That's why he's so good at golf.
All right. So now here's the quick game. So you've heard everyone else's. We'll just go rapid fire. Which of the other 3 would you want to attend? Not your own, of our 3.
Right, sure.
My paintball in the mall with 4 bar carts.
Paintball in the mall.
Forest's game. What was it?
Lord of the
Rings.
Rings.
Yeah.
I think
Or Kyle's minor league baseball Airbnb fun.
due to my lack of athleticism, I think I would go for Kyle's minor league baseball.
Fair.
So you're gonna play a sport.
Well, I mean, outfield drinking beer. It's not like
Sure.
He's just gonna stand on the field and drink beer. in
you
other
don't-
words,
you don't
yeah.
really have to do much.
I'm also go. Oh no, I'm going trampoline dodgeball.
Oh, wow.
Trampoline dodgeball's real.
One for me.
Sounds
Yeah.
really. I'm going paintball.
Yeah.
That's like a dream for me to run around
Let's
the mall,
do it.
shoot my friends.
Which one?
Kyle, which one are you going to?
I'm going the islands.
Yeah, there we
Wow.
go.
Yeah.
It's a good spread.
Hey,
Everybody picks
one
something.
of each.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
That's how you know it's a good podcast.
I like it.
It's been fun.
Real
Yeah,
nice,
real fun.
real light and striky,
Light strikey.
Yeah.
That's right.
whatever that means.
Well, it means you're hydrated and have a buzz.
Good night, everybody.
wildtimes.club/info.
Let us know whose party you want to go to.
But
Yeah.
also go to wildtimes.club/info for all the links to all the things. Enjoy. Good night.